A famous over-exaggeration. When he used to say, "I am so bored, I could die." Today on Boredom Must Die, I was so bored I researched if animals are intelligent enough to be able to talk one day. Of course, we already know there are some animals capable of learning human speech. Parrots are the first thing that comes to mind. Growing up, I used to look after an African gray parrot named Elway. I was around 10 or 11 at the time, and ironically later they found out that Elway, who was named after the famous quarterback of the Denver Broncos, is actually a female. Before she came to my home, she learned quite a few words already beforehand. She grew up with a bunch of guys by herself in a home. So anytime someone would come home, she'd immediately yell, "Fuck you." My absolute favorite though was when you have a bird and you start laughing, the bird mimics your laughter and they start laughing with you, which makes you laugh even harder, which makes the bird continue laughing, and it's a non-ending cycle of laughter. It's pretty hilarious. And they would also learn certain phrases as well. Elway learned a phrase, "son of a bitch." We had no idea where she got it from until one day my father goes, "Son of a bitch, where'd I put my checkbook?" Apparently Pops likes saying "son of a bitch" a lot. So have you guys ever had any parrots? Do you have any experience with talking, animals of the parrot variety?
I my bad. Go ahead.
My bad. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I personally, I never owned a parrot growing up or anything, but my nana, she at one point, like, she had this weird obsession with birds. I ironically didn't own a parrot, but there are more birds out there that actually talk, believe it or not.
Oh, I know, definitely.
Don't remember
like cockatiels, crows.
Breed.
Crows can definitely talk.
Yeah, I think it was actually a cockatiel. It didn't say a whole lot, like the parrot.
Like African grays. African grays themselves have a larger and wider vocal variety compared to like cockatiels. Like crows. I would say crows are up there with actual parrots, because crows can actually learn a lot of words. They can speak a lot of different phrases and different words. You can teach them. The crows are super smart. I mean, the ones around where I live look like chickens, because there's just so much food that they just feed off of. They grow gigantic. But also macaws, they're larger than African grays. So like macaws also, they also can say a lot of different words, but they're I feel like those things are dangerous. They can bite your finger off. Like they have enough pressure in their beaks to just cut your finger off. Yeah. What about you, Stars? Did you have any experience with parrots or the like?
Yeah, I've hung around parrots, and I've had friends that had parrots at their house and stuff, and we would like play games and make it to where it would say stuff we would say. But other than that, like, I've never owned a parrot myself or a bird at all myself, but like I've played around like with my friends' parrots, and like I've went to, like, of course, on vacations, went to places where there's parrots. But
oh yeah.
That's my only experience with birds.
They're littered in Florida. They're like, you go to Florida or even in California, I've seen wild parrots. Or not, they used to be someone's pet. But some jerk was like, no, I can't take care of these things. They're too needy. Which parrots are super needy, but they're also very loving, and I absolutely love animals. I love birds. But you see them all over Florida and California from people just releasing them into the wild. But then some people, you might ask, how can parrots speak? So what they do is they use their syrinx, which is part of the trachea that splits into the lungs, and then manipulate the airflow, and they can mimic sounds and patterns of speech. Some of the best parrots, like African grays, hymne grays, yellow-naped Amazons, and some other, like we talked about before, as well as crows. Parrots learn just by hearing, just like people will when you begin to learn to talk. You begin to learn to talk when you're 3 months to a year old. Parrots learn by hearing just like people, and they'll begin to learn how to talk within 3 months to 1 year after escaping the egg. Birds are intelligent enough as well to associate words with various actions. Some owners say that their birds say goodbye when they see the owner putting on a coat. However, Elway would just say "fuck you." Of course, repeated interactions of talking with the parrot as much as possible also helps them understand the meaning of the words by also relating them to actions. And parrots are able to communicate emotions as well. They can sense and communicate emotions and feelings through body language. While they might not be able to tell you they don't feel well, when they're not telling you to fuck off, certain behaviors will key the owners into knowing how the bird is. and how the bird is feeling. While birds are able to mimic human sound, other animals can also learn via sign language. And can you guess which animals I'm talking about?
Gorillas.
Yeah, that's one of
Monkeys?
them. Yep, monkeys, chimpanzees, gorillas, greater apes. Their vocal anatomy isn't as good as humans or birds, but they're able to learn sign language and visible symbols. While birds and apes are able to communicate in their own way, dogs as well can read the tone of your voice. And once again, dogs also learn through actions and behaviors. That allows them to know that they're being such a good little girl or such a spoiled little naughty dog. So the question is, do you think animals will ever be able to become intelligent enough to overthrow humanity? And I would also like to point out the Rick and Morty episode where the dog says, "Summer, where are my balls?"
Yes. I don't know if dogs will ever get, or pets and animals would ever get intelligent enough to overthrow mankind, but I can tell you one thing. I hope to God dogs do end up talking, because I want to talk to dogs.
I could totally imagine like gorillas or apes, like Planet of the Apes style. I feel like greater apes are intelligent enough to communicate that stuff.
I can tell you right now, if ants get any bigger than the size of like a horse, we're done. You know what I'm saying?
God,
Like,
yeah.
Have the eight-legged freaks running around?
Probably just give the planet to the ants.
Or if you
Because,
like the movie Eight-Legged Freaks, where there were huge spiders,
giant spiders.
Yeah, but spiders, I honestly think if that actually happened, we'd be fine, right? We could combat like spiders. Ants, I don't know, man. Ants are some freaky.
Well, have you?
Those are some freaky.
No.
Dude.
The old school sci-fi movie, Black and White. It Came from the Desert. Have you guys seen that?
I have not.
There's an updated version. They made like a 2018 or 2019 version of It Came from the Desert, and it's also like, it's fantastic. It's they're just rolling off the old cult classics. But that's another form of communication that I didn't cover in my research, that I just thought of now is pheromones. And like insects communicate through like pheromones, don't they?
I couldn't tell you, like, honestly, I don't know, but I mean, they're smart as hell. Like, ants are smart as hell, and if we're talking about things that are already to the level of intelligence as, like, you know, humans, if not smarter, I mean, you got dolphins. You know what I'm saying? If they obtain any type of like land, you know, capability, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, I could only imagine like a dolphin.
Do you think dolphins like talk shit about humans in the water?
I mean, why wouldn't
like,
they, right? We're just like
those two-legged fucking land mammal pieces of shit.
Or like, imagine us just like flopping around, like trying to stay above the water, and they're just like flying around, like, you know what I mean? Like they're jumping up out of the water, like just laughing.
I can only imagine, like, whenever you get people that actually swimming in the ocean and they find dolphins and go swimming with the dolphins in actual open water. I bet like the dolphins are like jumping in the air, like you can't do this, bitch, and like just
What about the dolphins that start humping humans? Like, do you think they're trying to crossbreed so they can get on the land?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because dolphins, I'm pretty sure, are the only other mammal that actually have, you know, sex for pleasure, you know, other than humans, right? And I've never seen videos or anything of dolphins actually, you know, humping or anything like that a human. But if it's a real thing, dude, like, that's crazy, because
there's videos out there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't doubt it. I've just never seen them. But like that, the thought of it is pretty nuts, because that is literally insinuating that dolphin just got horny as shit and absolutely went to town on whatever poor soul was floating there in the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, that straight up is like what happened, and it just you get to go home saying that you were humped by a horny animal, like not like a dog, like she's just doing it for territory, or he's just doing it for, you know, like. What do dogs do it for? It's not territory. That's where. Oh my god!
Could you imagine that? You're getting rejected, asking someone out on a date. You're like, yeah, well, you know what, Jerry? The dolphin found me attractive. Fuck you.
Yeah, the dolphin found me attractive. Yeah, well,
like a couple having a bad marriage or whatever, and it's like, I got some from the dolphin today, not from you.
Yeah, well, if she pulls that into the fight, then the dolphin can have her. I mean, I'm just saying.
For me, I'd be
oh my
worried.
god, could you imagine? You better Little Mermaid up.
If my wife came home and told me that, I'd be like, what the fuck? what the fuck did you do today? Like, it's like, what the hell is that aquarium allowing?
Oh
Like,
my
what the
God.
hell? Like, I don't know. I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, what the heck?
You just like write a letter, like call them up, like what did you do to my wife over there?
Like,
I mean, same goes for
You know,
guys.
she's
I've seen
threatening to leave me
videos.
for a dolphin.
I've seen videos where the dolphins hump guys too. So I'm just saying it's not just one direction here.
I mean, hey, it's probably not.
Maybe they just have a leg fetish, you know, because they don't have legs.
They want
I mean,
one.
it's possible. I have no idea. I've never researched it, but I do know that they're one of the only mammals other than us to, you know, have sex for pleasure.
Right.
I just think it's interesting. Like
I
always thought
still,
that was
you know what,
interesting because they're also one of the only mammals that can use the like 11% of their brain.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
'Cause
right.
We're the only one that can do that, or 10% of our brain. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I totally, I deep down inside, I think there's a greater agenda to that where they're trying to like crossbreed and create a dolphin human.
I mean, it's plausible, I suppose.
There's like a deep down in the ocean, there's just like a whole thing of mer dolphins that are like half human, half dolphin. Just like abominations that are trying to like, one day we'll take over the surface world. Yes. They're down there plotting.
It's definitely plausible.
I mean,
know.
yeah, like I don't know. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon though. I feel like if humanity just got wiped out though, give it a couple centuries, not probably like, you know, maybe 1,000 years. I bet you there'd be some sort of dominant species coming up, taking over the human's place after, you know, we totally fuck up the earth and it kills us.
I think there was a TV show that used to be on like Discovery Channel or some shit that was like that. It was like after humans or something.
Oh yeah. No, they definitely had that
really,
TV show After Humans. Yeah, where it showed like cities. It would be like, this is what Boston would look like without humanity, and it just showed the wild growing. It's kind of like that movie with Will Smith, I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Am
That movie's
Legend.
really good.
That's okay. You guys are okay.
Going back to animals. There's a bunch of movies about animals talking.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could do animals, honestly, or fucking the movies.
I mean, is it realistic though? Like, do you think they have a way to communicate with one another?
I mean, I would imagine dogs do have a way to communicate to each other. Like,
oh yeah, well, definitely dogs. They sit there, like if you take them on a walk, they'll smell each other's piss for like 10 minutes, or it's like their Twitter.
Yeah.
They're just like when you
their Twitter.
Yeah, dude, they're going through Twitter. They're scrolling through Twitter when you go down the sidewalk. They're like,
I wonder what their Reddit is.
They're just like, I see how Spot's doing. Okay, I see you, Spot.
Their Facebook.
Yeah. Exactly what it is when they pee on like fire hydrants, and they have to pee on everything and sniff everything, and especially I don't know what it is with dogs' obsession with poop either. Like they just love smelling shit. I know that their noses are like 10,000 times stronger than humans though, so they're probably like, oh yeah, that's what you ate. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think they could smell like what you ate even like after it's been digested? That'd be kind of nutty.
I mean, their smell that's why we have them smell bombs and smell for drugs, because their noses are 10,000 times more sensitive than a human nose. They're more highly developed. So I wouldn't put it beyond the possibility that they can tell what you ate if you poop. And ending on poop. I hope everyone enjoyed that podcast. It's definitely an interesting one. Let us know what you think if animals are going to take over the world one day. Even if after humanity is gone, if you think what species, let us know what species will take over. Is it going to be dolphins? Is it going to be cats, dogs, parrots? And don't forget, if you want to join the conversation, you can always follow us at twitter.com/boredom-must-die. Let us know what you thought about the episode, and let us know your opinions. Dolphins, dogs, parrots. Will it be like Planet of the Apes?